responsibility now, not yours," the officer said, cutting the guard off mid-sentence. "However, if you wish to die this day in order to honor your oath, I can certainly respect that." The officer smiled coldly. "The choice is yours, of course, but I would consider how your needless deaths will affect those you love before making your decisions." One last look between them was all that was required. "Yes, sir," the first guard said. "Thank you, sir," he added as he stepped back away from his post. The other guard did the same, bowing respectfully to the enemy officer who had just allowed them to continue living. Both men quickly moved away and then disappeared down a side ladder. The officer turned back toward the shuttle, a satisfied grin on his face. There was nothing more rewarding than victory. It had been a long and fitful night for Connor Tuplo. Images of their mission to Coronair made sleep almost impossible for him, especially with visions of Trayvon Dumar, a man he had never met, sacrificing himself on Connor's behalf. And the dying man's last words, "You will find a way. You are Natan." Being captain of a ship, one with a crew, all of whom depended on him to keep them alive and fed, had been a difficult enough responsibility for Connor to become accustomed to. But this? "I am not Natan." Connor repeated this to himself again and again, but it didn't seem to stick. If anything, it reinforced the same question he had carried with him for the last 5 years. Who am I? Connor walked up to the guest quarters building on the Gata Jacques base that accommodated those rescued from Coronair the day before. He was about to reach for the door when it opened suddenly. "Captain," Doran Montrose said with surprise. "It's great to see you again, sir." Connor looked confused for a moment. From the rescue," Doran quickly added, recognizing the young man's confusion. "I was among those you and your crew rescued." "Ah, of course." "Thank you," Doran added, reaching out to shake Connor's hand. "Again." "Again?" Connor asked without really thinking as he shook Doran's hand. "Yes, it's not the first time that you've rescued us from certain death." Doran suddenly realized the reason for Connor's confusion. "Well, the first time for you, I suppose. I know you don't remember the previous times." Doran smiled comfortingly. "Rest assured, though, that I shall never forget them, nor shall all the others who made it home to their loved ones because of you." "But I'm not really him, am I?" Connor wasn't asking a question. "I guess that depends on your point of view," Doran replied, a contemplative look on his face. "Then you knew me before?" Connor asked. "I mean, you knew him?" "Him, you, I've known you both. I served under you in the Alliance, and I was there when you woke, in your new body." "Then you consider me to be Nathan Scott?" Connor surmised, trying to put the pieces of a puzzle together. "Even though I have no memory of that life?" Doran looked down for a moment. "It is difficult to explain." He chuckled. "It is difficult to understand, even for me." He looked at Connor. "To me it does not matter. You're Nathan. You are Connor. You are both men. Different, and yet the same." "Then you also think I am this Natan?" Doran smiled broadly. "I've always believed you to be Natan, and I doubt that I shall ever stop." Doran put his hands on Connor's shoulders. "He is in there somewhere, waiting to be awakened. Of this I am quite certain. Only you can decide the if and the when." Doran sighed. "Regardless, I still appreciate what you, be you Connor Tuplo or Nathan Scott, did for myself and my family yesterday. This too shall always be remembered." Doran patted Connor on the shoulder again and continued on his way, leaving him more confused than before. "All rise for our Lord Dusan," the guard at the entrance to the Takarn Hall of Nobles commanded in Takarn. The line of Jung officers on either side of the hall snapped to attention. The Takarn nobles who had been forced to attend were somewhat less enthusiastic, standing nonetheless. Lord Dusan strode confidently into the middle of the hall, dressed in his usual form-fitting black uniform trimmed in crimson. He stopped in the middle of the room, pausing to look upon the 30-plus leaders of the noble houses of Takara. Although his face did not reflect it, he took great satisfaction in the knowledge that these men, the wealthiest, most powerful men in the Takaran system, as well as all that they owned,